Episode 2.
Early midlife crisis. Check. I was 27. Things were going really well. I had been working for 5 years in a billion-dollar company. I was in marketing. I was working on a billion-dollar brand. And I felt like this is not what I'm meant to do. There were days that I woke up crying, not wanting to go to work. Things were just going wrong. I felt like things were being thrown at me that I just was not equipped to handle. I think something just snapped. I don't quite remember what it was, but I think I just I was eligible for a long leave after working for 5 years, and I just took that leave. I took a 3-month sabbatical. I got on a plane to Nepal. I spent a month in Kathmandu, and gosh, it sounds really funny, and it sounds like I'm telling someone else's story, but it was, I don't know if it was self-discovery, but I did cling to a lot of things I learned about myself during that time, and I still cling to them now. The way that I don't want life to stop being an adventure, even if it has things that are mistakes or flaws. I guess one of those things I live by in a weird way is a joke, is a meme which has like this person who's like standing in like a flustered way, kind of like scratching their head, and like the tagline is like, "It seemed like a good idea at the time." So a lot of my life has been like that. Just stuff that I did, that one thing led to another, and stuff that seemed like a good idea at the time. Quitting my job and not having a plan, just traveling around and not knowing what comes next. My friends calling me crazy because they were on like these secure career paths, and I was floundering, and then just kind of meandered and found filmmaking, or filmmaking found me. I don't know, and I don't really know if I believe in having a calling. I don't know, but just kind of, I guess a meanderer is what I've been, and I think I've enjoyed most of it. We are here at the end of a really long day. Not our longest shoot day. Our longest shoot day, I believe, may have been 23 hours long. A lot of the people that are on set with me right now were with me then as well. Some of them may have passed out during those 23 hours at some point. Behind the camera right now is Sergey, who has been with us for a really long time. I've been filming with him pretty much almost the whole time that I've been in China, so about the last 4 years. The longest shoot day that I had with Sergey, the first time, was about 18 hours long. It was a long day in July, 3.5 years ago. We were shooting a power bank in Shenzhen in July. I believe it may be about 38 degrees Celsius in the sun. We had been shooting outside in a park all day. After lunch, people were almost passed out on the green. This was my first time working with Sergey, if I remember correctly. And he was the one person that kept going. He had a smile on his face the whole time, 18 hours. And 17.5 hours, he looks at me and he's like, "What else can we do? What else do we have? Let's do it. Let's go." And that's the kind of energy and enthusiasm that, I think that brings a whole new life into the film set. And a lot of times when you work with filmmakers, you realize that we live a very different kind of life. It's all kinds of strange hours. It's working for unimaginably long days. It's waking up at 2:30 in the morning to go for a 3-hour drive to the sea to catch the sunrise. Another crazy thing that this guy behind the camera had us do. 2:30 in the morning, people didn't even get a chance to sleep. They pretty much just came, from whatever whatever they were doing, and they said, like, we don't feel like there was any point in sleeping at this point. And you feel that that's normal. Anytime that I talk to someone new who's getting into filmmaking, someone who's joining our team, for example, a lot of times what we do is that we have them come to one of our shoots. So we have actually someone like that here today who joined us on set. And the first time that she was on a set with us, I met her in the morning before we went to the shoot. It may have been about 5 a.m. The sun wasn't out yet. And I told her, this is actually fairly normal for me. A lot of times when we wake up, the sun isn't out yet, and we get up and we get to the film set. And I think it was part of her induction to let her know that, you know, on shoot days, anything goes. Waking up in the dark or going to sleep when the sun is still up. All of that kind of gets into this warped kind of way of living. So the real question is, why do we live this way? Why do people get into the media industry, especially behind the camera? In front of the camera, I'm sure it has all kinds of other attractions and allures, but people that get into being behind the camera have a very specific relationship with creating images, with creating something that didn't exist before. And I feel like every single person that walks away from a film set carries a little bit of magic with them at the end. They came together. It could be 5 people, it could be 25, it could be 2,500. You come together on a film set, which was nothing before. It could be like a bunch of studio spaces. They were nothing, there was no life. And people just come together into that space, bring all of this stuff that you see around me and way more, and create something that didn't exist before. And that something might have the power to make some kind of change, as insignificant or tiny as that might be. And I feel like all of us that are behind the camera live in that constant hope that something that we create will be of meaning in one way or the other at some point. And that something would not have been in creation without us being there on set, being there at 5 a.m. in the morning, waking up at 2:30 a.m., getting into that van, getting into that car, and just showing up and creating this. So I guess this is kind of turned into a tribute to filmmakers. It's kind of turned into a tribute to every single person who works with us on our team for their dedication, their energy, their enthusiasm, their positivity, their long hours they put in, and how they do everything with a smile, and how they do everything at the end. And at the end of the day, you know, the one question is not, when can I go home, but okay, what else do we have to do? Let's do it, let's go. So in the words of all my Russian friends, davai. I totally did not get that right because I do not do foreign languages. But yeah, that was it. That was our little piece of life, piece of filmmaking life. We will see you in the next episode. Bye.